I swear, as soon as I hit record, the computer starts making noises. Hello, hi, welcome to another 24-hour vlog. Kind of monthly thing now. Last week, I think it was, I made an official playlist for them. So, if you want to watch more of them, some of them are wilder than others. That will be up above in the cards. That's easier for me to say that. With a whole playlist. Anyways, this is where I read for 24 hours straight. Pretty self-explanatory. I haven't started the timer yet. Sometimes I do themes, sometimes I don't. Also, now I sleep during them, which makes it easier for me to do them in general, but also easier for me for my health and whatnot. Anyways, if you hear my sister talking on the phone with her boyfriend, no, you don't. Trust me, I tried to make them shut the fuck up, but they don't. It's fine. It's fine. I did remember to pull up the timer this time. It's a miracle. Anyways, this one theme. If I can do math properly, there are 12 options I have kind of downloaded right now. You can't see that. I can see it, trust me. Because the theme is series. I'm a girl who is reading series. I tried to finish series, but also a girl who wants to do this. And also trying to get through her library TBR. You know the best way to do that? Most of these are library books. The group that I just wrote the whole entire collection, but it's like 4 50-page books that are all Christmas novellas. You can guess what I'm talking about. And then one other, and that one other, I don't think I'll read in this. But those are the only ones on Kindle Unlimited. Everything else is through my library. So one of them's due tomorrow at 8 p.m, which it is 11:12 a.m. right now. So that's fun. That's not the one I'm gonna start with. Also, we're not gonna start with the super large one this time. We'll do the 700-page one next. Imagine if I actually did. I may actually. The one I'm starting with is, I don't remember the name of the actual series. The Dark Prophecy, that's the name of it. Trials of Apollo. I remember the series. I can't remember which book is which in it. I keep on forgetting which one, because I know I own the first one and one of the later ones, and it's the fourth one that I own, because I'm weird. It's because I get them from thrift stores, so for like 50 cents. Anyways, I am already 25% into it, so that's the thing. I did start it prior, and it is about, what is this about? It's about Apollo is banished and turned human after not being able to properly foresee everything that happened in the first 2 series, right? And so he's basically going around trying to fix prophecies in general as a mortal, while also hanging out with different characters from, I was gonna say the original series, but Heroes of Olympus, just saying Heroes of Olympus because it's the same characters in both. Characters overlap, like this one is Leo. Leo is very centered in this one. There was a lot of Nico in the first one, because they were at Camp Prep, but they're not there anymore. So it's him doing that, trying to save friends, but it's also like a character study of a god after he's become mortal and had to realize that he's the problem, he's the issue here, and realizing as he's experiencing the same things that normal demigods have to deal with, what is him perpetrating, helping continue this cycle, and how maybe that's not cool, maybe he shouldn't do that. And if you know anything about me, I don't like character-based books. Like, yeah, there's plot, but it's like very much about Apollo. That's, everything is basically a lens to study Apollo, right? And his character, and maybe I don't like that. But Rick Riordan is magic, so also I did get informed that Leo and Calypso do break up, and so I'm just sitting here knowing that's gonna happen, and they are fighting a lot, and girl, you can't complain when he tries to find solutions with mechanical parts and whatnot, being as that's the only way he's able to help with anything, and he's trying to help. Like, girl. Anyways, I'm gonna start the timer and start the book Goodbye, sweet universe. I will read. Whee! Okay, the computer's gonna be loud because I'm streaming. Which, I love how shortly as soon as I stopped, like, nearly as soon as I stopped the intro, I clicked go live. Like, I was waiting until I did that so I could use webcam. And then everything crashed. It was very fun. It was very fun. That's how my morning started. I say that was 11:20 in the morning. We had 18 and a half hours left, and I finished The Dark Prophecy. That makes sense based on what I just read. We just got The Dark Prophecy at the end of the book. My review is, oh my god, I'm actually knocking down all the books that I've been reading for forever. We love that for me, personally. My review boils down to somehow, a book featuring Leo as a regular character. He's not really a main character, but he's like a regular character. Was boring. I think the reason why is because a lot of the Leo stuff was focused around his relationship with Calypso, right? And then me knowing that they're not endgame, and then them, like, a lot of their stuff is like them trying to figure out how to be a couple after everything they went through. She gave up her immortality to be with him and stuff like that, and so, and just wants a home, but he's never had that, so he doesn't know how to give her that and all this stuff, which is like, it's well done. It's just like me knowing what happens is just not a good time for me. I'm just there like, okay. Anyways, yeah, I was bored. I was bored. We are going to California in the next one, so we get to hang out with Frank and Hazel. Jason's cool, I guess. The way never gave any cares about Jason, and I know what happens to him in this series as well. Anyways, Piper, we're excited about Piper, so, you know, good times, because apparently she's going to school, and actually that makes sense. Her father's an actor, that makes sense for her to go to school in LA. And be able to stay with her boyfriend. That big brain thoughts. Excuse me as I cross out. My pen is dying. The way I was like, am I really out of ink? Yeah, it's out of ink. It should go in the trash. I'll get out another one then. Wait a second. I think I see another green one I can use. I think it's the same pen. It is the same pen. Just has ink in it. We love that. We love that. Anyways, the way I'm more excited for the next one, just because, like, how the first one had my son Diego, the second one has my son Leo, and yet, but I think we'll see more of Leo, and it's gonna be him separated from Calypso because he's gonna go to the West Coast to, like, warn them of the attack, and then Apollo and Meg have to go through the maze again, and Grover's there. Grover's gonna be helping them out, so that's cool, I guess. I haven't seen Grover in like 16 years. He hasn't been important since like book 2 of the first series. Like, Grover, look at you living your own life. Anyways, I gave it a 3.5 stars because, yeah, no, I was kind of bored. I feel so bad. Anyways, it's fine. I have no serious, sister sneezing a lot. I have no complaints. It was great seeing Talia. Girl, I miss you. Also, her and Apollo's flirting. Girl, you are a hunter of Artemis. Not only a hunter of Artemis, but also, like, her right-hand woman. And you're flirting with her twin brother? I don't. Their relationship seems weird, but also kind of cute. I kind of like it. Also, that was the other thing. There was Jimmy. Is that his name? I think so. Well, that was his American name. Because I did look it up. He's from, I believe, Nigeria. He said what he is a demigod of, which is ignoring my sister's music. And I looked it up. I think it said a fifth of the population of Nigeria. something like that. Which is the first time, because technically it's connected to the Kane Chronicle, so I'm counting as that this is the first time that it's not Greek, Roman, Norse, though I haven't read the Norse ones yet, or Egyptian. First time it was a character outside of that. So is he expanding the universe even more? Rick, how long are we gonna be here? All right. Post interruption. I was just using that time to mark the next one as it'd be helpful if I spelled Binti right. Why do I keep on ending it with an O? Living is current reading. The next one we're gonna do is, if you couldn't tell from me saying that earlier, Home, which is the second book in the trilogy of Binti. Yes, it is 3. The Night Masquerade is the title of the next one. What the hell? Oh my god, I gotta bring up this one other quick fact about the Apollo one. Imagine my shock when a Pokemon Go reference happened. I was like, what the hell? I haven't heard of Pokemon Go since I dated a guy who was obsessed with Pokemon in college. So that would have been late 2017, early 2018, and then I learned it came out in 2017, and then I was like, okay, this makes sense. And it was pretty dead then. That killed me. Anyways, Home, book 2 in the Binti trilogy, is a sci-fi by Nidia Okorafor. I butcher her name every fucking time. It is, I liked Binti. I think I rated it 4 stars. Yes, I did. And Remote Control is also by her, and I also rated it 4 stars and liked it. I tried the first one like 2 months ago, maybe, because I gotta skip the line thing from the library. Anyways, I have it out from the library now. I have Home out from the library right now. I'm gonna read it. I don't really know what it's about. It is sci-fi, and I am currently also filming a separate vlog that has to do with me reading sci-fi books. And I just yesterday finished a sci-fi book. Like, I am in sci-fi land. So much sci-fi in my future. And I'm gonna go read. I could read any of these other books. There's a giant list. I'm gonna read this. Because it is longer. Like, I think maybe twice as long as Binti was. But, and hear me out, it is still a novella, and then also on top of that, it will take brain power. It will take brain power for me to read, and that's why I want to do it now while I'm still alive, and then I can read. Like, I think it would be very funny. Like, I technically could read The Vampire Smut at like midnight, but I think it'd be very funny if I started a dark romance at like midnight, at like 2 a.m. when I can't fall asleep because of insomnia. Reading dark romance, that's kind of funny. As well as like all the 50-page correspondence novellas, like all that stuff I can do at 2 a.m. easily, if I'm awake still. But like, this is one of the 2 that I kind of really want to read, that actually take brain power. And the other one, I do have the audiobook as well, so I could do that tomorrow morning, because I will have time. The benefit of me starting at 11. So Binti was, this is about Binti, who is from a culture that is considered primitive by most of humanity. She is the first of them to go to space, to go study at this pristine college, when their ship is attacked by this other alien species, and she ends up being able to communicate with them because of an object she just found one day, and they join a camaraderie, whatnot. She helps them communicate with the humans on why they are attacking, what they want in payment for literally humans attacking them and literally taking one of their body parts and putting it up in a museum. Yeah, and then the humans are like, whoops. Yeah, that kind of is a bad thing. And then it ended with her and one of the aliens that she was closest with going to the college together. Right. So I don't know what this one's about. This one is also from 2017. That's so funny. It's been a year later. She's declared a hero for uniting 2 warring planets. Um, but now she has to return home. Oh yeah, there's like this whole thing where if she like left in the dead of night because if they knew she would be disowned and all this stuff. So she has to return home with a Aqu. I don't know how to pronounce that. Her alien bestie. Um, but he will be the first of his race to step on Earth in over 100 years, the first to come in peace. So it's like he's the first of his species, which are called the Meduse, which I think is very funny because they have Medusa-like hair, is their whole thing. And yeah, no. So he's gonna. It's like a whole thing where he's coming to Earth, I guess, and dealing with generations of conflicts between their people by him coming to Earth, but also her dealing with her internal conflicts of her family. I don't know. It's gonna be a shortish one, but it's gonna be more slower paced. So I don't know actually how long it's gonna take me. I don't know anything. Can you tell? So they will is fast paced on Storygraph, but that's just me because it's short. No. I was like, why is the warning symbol here? Why is the warning symbol here? Storygraph is because the first thing labeled is panic attacks and disorders. That's great for me currently in my mental state. I'll get through it. I'll force myself through it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nobody worry about anything. I'm gonna go start it. I'm gonna go read outside with Bella. Goodbye. It's been forever since I've been here. It's been forever. Why did I? Oh, because the next book. I gotta talk about the next book. We're not talking about how I got distracted by life. And so then I was watching somebody I found on YouTube, as you preach, recently. And I've been watching a lot of their YouTube stuff. But they went live today. And so I just popped in for like the whole hour they streamed. If it was an hour. To distract myself. Okay. Anyways, I read Binti Home. And I'm giving it 3 stars. Fun fact, home is not the home that me as a reader, Binti as a person, was expecting. And here's the thing, the first one felt like, I don't remember what the time difference between them. I'm checking that right now, because my laptop's right here. Okay, 2 years? 2 years? I don't know if, like, Binti was popular or something, and Tor.com was like, hey, write us a sequel, because, hear me out, it didn't feel like it needed a sequel. It felt fine on its own. And now, this one ended with a cliffhanger for the third and final one. And so, that just feels a little weird. Not my favorite. It basically made me feel, most sci-fi makes me feel, which is, like I'm a dumb idiot who understands nothing. And I'm just sitting there just like, okay, yeah, Like, I understand the very basic premise of what happened. In this one, I was trying to listen along and read at the same time. And it wasn't, like, it was slow for me. I was trying to do that. I don't know if it worked out great for me. But that's how it is. The next one's even longer. Like, over 200 pages. Just barely, but still. So that's fun. Yeah, panic attacks are a thing. I mean, it makes sense though, because after everything that happens in the first one, you would imagine she has PTSD. And she does. And side effects of all of that is the reason why she went home and she goes home in the first place. That's why she's going. But also there's like a whole thing near the end where she is officially, for the first time, it's feeling like coming to the understanding that I can't pronounce its name, Aqu. I'm saying it because that's the pronouns she uses for it. The tentacle, like, alien that killed all her friends, including the guy she liked. Well, everyone on the ship. And she was kind of tortured. And then irrevocably, that's not how you pronounce words, changed physically and psychologically, and like also her DNA was in order to survive them, like be able to communicate with them so that she could communicate peace with people, so that like thousands more people didn't die. And she's like considered a hero now because of that, but like she's also like not considered marriageable at home. Like she's like at home she is looked down upon for all this stuff, right? Right, and how dare she change and all this stuff. And she's now coming to the understanding, it feels like near the end of this, that her friend from those people, right, was also one of the ones, like, he tried to kill her multiple times. I remember this. That was like a thing, but like he took part in the massacre of hundreds of students, right? Um, so like, and could have been one of the ones that torture her. So like, I think torture, it's like medical torture type thing, kind of, almost, kind of a little bit. So like she's coming to that understanding and realization, and that's why she feels distant from him, but she also feels distant from everybody else because of already her culture. But then that whole thing that happened, and so nobody really views her as a person. It's this whole thing, but it's not. I don't want to say it's not well done, but it's not done in a way that I personally attach to. 3 stars. Next one, we're gonna do the Under the Mistletoe series. We're gonna do the second one. I have read the first one. I didn't even realize it was the first one. I read it December. Imagine that. My sister, I don't know how she magically keeps on Kindle credits, but she does, and she used it to buy a Coral Winter with You because she knew. I don't think she still hasn't. Like I think she's read parts of it, Love Hypothesis, but I don't think she's finished it. But she did go like, hey, you like Allie Hazelwood, I'm just gonna get this one, right? I think this was before I read Tessa Bailey. No, because I read the Tessa Bailey that I did like, which was a holiday romance, which is the store one. I don't know. I have to explain that one. Anyways, next one is Mary Ever After. The whole series is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not gonna read all of them in this, but I'm just continuing the series. Why not? I was looking at the authors earlier. I thought Tessa Bailey was gonna be the only other one that I had read by, but I also have read Alexandria Bellefour. So I was gonna say maybe this one will be sapphic because I know she writes a lot of sapphic stuff, but no, I read Hot Fireman. Well, it could be Hot Fireman Who's a Woman. Griffin Brintley. Oh no, he's a he. I cry. I thought one of these could be queer. But no, I haven't read it. Olivia Dade or Alexis Daria. I think I have an Alexis Daria on my general DVR. Which are the other two? My History of Tessa Dare. I read that one, Holiday Romance, and I almost rated it 5 stars. Like, I really liked it. It was something shopping. I swear. This is gonna bother me until I figure it out. And then, like, I should read more Tessa Bailey's because, hear me out, the only other Tessa Bailey I've read I don't like. I have a funny story about that one, actually. It Happened When Summer is the one that I didn't like. I know this. What is this Christmas one? Go to all books. Why doesn't it automatic? Just show me all the books. Just scrolling down until I find this Christmas one. That's a different Christmas one. She has another Christmas one. Should I read that one? She apparently has all cute ones. I don't know if I'd like that. My Killer Vacation
is one I've been looking into reading. That's the Spanish edition, but that's the book. But I can't read Spanish despite taking Spanish for 3 years in high school. I don't. I can count to 10. I can count to 2. Um, no one blame me. We didn't have an actual teacher. Please, just okay. My computer's being a bitch. I hope this is very entertaining. How much of this will I cut out? Will it be all of it? Will it be none of it? Will I just let us sit in awkward silence for the rest of the time until I find the book? Window shopping. Window shopping, that's what it is. I read by her. Love that one, 4.5. I think that's not a popular opinion. You know what? It happened one summer. I rated 2 stars. So, that's fun. That's fun. What's my funny? It happened one summer story. Like maybe 3 months. This is exactly a year ago. Maybe 3 months. After Fish and I read It Happened One Summer, in which they constantly complained at me for making them to read that book, right? I went to a bookstore. It's actually the bookstore where I got, you can kind of see Six of Crows here. So, I bought stuff there. But it's a primarily romance bookstore, and Bestie, who I was visiting in SoCal, and to visit this bookstore, was looking through all these books. I told her about the story of how the fish grew the haze because I made them read this book by Tessa Bailey, and they hated it. Right, but it takes place in Maine, and now like Maine romances and something. I don't know. And then Bestie finds the fish's Instagram. Like, we're just patrolling the bookstore. Finds Bestie's Instagram, becomes Insta friends with them, to DM them, to be like, hey, I think you'd like this book, and it happened with summer, and then the fish screamed at me. And then we were laughing so hard, because Bessie didn't realize I was talking about that book. I think, yeah, that was funny. That's my funny story about how It Happened One Summer. That's the best thing It Happened One Summer did. Anyways, Very Ever After, the book I'm about to read. How is this clip 11 minutes long? Who am I? What I know, because when I open it up on my Kindle, it does like the auto pop-up summary thing and about the author and blah blah blah. What I briefly glimpsed when that popped up was Single Mother and Big Giant Gentle Himbo, maybe Farmer. So maybe I'll enjoy it. Oh my god, can you believe I forgot about the most important part of this update? I, the person I am, have decided I'm going to stay awake. Yeah, because life happened, and I got very distracted. I was like, well, I feel bad now, so I just won't sleep. Because otherwise, it'd be like, maybe one of the other ones, like shorter-ish ones, when I woke up, and that's it. After this one, but no, I can easily do the dark romance after this one, and possibly also the very, very long Vampire Smut. Can you imagine? Maybe like, bitch, what the hell are you on? In my defense, I do have an electric kettle up here, and I have like everything to make tea up here, including lots of tea. I don't have a tea steeper, and a lot of my dark teas are loose tea, and that's because my steeper was dirty in the dishwasher running. So that's another issue for another time for me. I'm gonna go make my first cup, honestly, and read this book. Bye. Hello, hi. That kettle had 1.2 liters left in it. Now I'm more because I emptied it because I lied to you. A bitch is gonna sleep. We have 9 hours. We have 9 hours. 9 hours. I realized with, well, I don't know what we're gonna do this about because Mary Ever After, yeah. At a point, basically when the sex scene started, I got bored and was falling asleep. And I realized, oh, it's 2 a.m. when I finished it somehow. It's because I was slogging through that sex scene. That's how I couldn't skip through it. Like, it couldn't happen one summer because I wasn't listening to the audiobook, even though it comes with the audiobook on Kindle Unlimited. Anyways, so I was like, wait a second, if I set a timer for once in my life, or an alarm for 7, and then when I wake up at 7, I make a hobby, chug that bitch, and I can read the last book for this, because it's under 11 hours for the audiobook. I can do that. I can do that. And that'll be 4 books in this vlog. And I am fine with that. Mary Ever After, especially since 2 of them will be pretty junky boys, right? Mary Ever After. So I went to label it as currently reading, and I wish I was still rolling when that happened, because my face, when I realized that Goodreads average, the Storygraph average wasn't much better, is something like a 2.79. And I went, oh shit. I did just look at reviews of the 3 people on Goodreads I'm friends with who have read it. The first one was being like, well, at least it was funny. I don't remember the second one. Third one was her going, ha 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 ha. No, or something like that. Which is accurate. How do I put this? It was laughably bad. Like, so laughably bad that I was taking pictures of lines and sending it to friends, being like, ha 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 ha, this is so bad. And then we were laughing at different bad lines in books. Like, that was the thing happening, to the point where I have some highlighted, including the one that started it all. More life stuff was happening, and it was like 11:30 p.m. and I literally outwardly guffawed at this. And I quote, I don't want to read this out loud. Jesus, she's got nice sturdy hips. A lot of men don't notice that type of thing, but a man my size does. She would handle me well. This is the part where I bring up his issues of possibly being in a relationship. Like, he's immediately in love with her and down to like settle down, move in together, we're living on my farm and your son is my son, fun times. But his main issue is the idea that he large man, she small woman. How would he fit? But then when they do it, he does fit. And now listen. I've read some monsters, but it's well done in those. I'm sorry, Mr. Kettle. It's not plugged in, it's fine. Anyways, in the first hot and heavy scene where they're heavily making out, she thinks, and I quote, I mean, dang, call me Slick Rick after a few kisses. And a few sentences later, I turned the page. I didn't quote this one. I could pull up Discord because I did just quote it to her instead of taking a picture. But because you know the issues he has, right? She says the phrase, I'm not sure this is something she says, try me on for size. Yeah, I think Tessa just really just it sent in the first draft and went, bye bitches, I don't care. It was laughably bad for the first 3 chapters, and then essentially all of chapter 4 was the sex scene. right? And then chapter 5 was him, like, at end of chapter 4, where her being like, she has issues with her ex who left her when he found out she was pregnant, right? Um, which, by the way, I was expecting this kid to be like 5 months old. I don't think if we should be like scared if he could fit. I don't think we should be that's the first one 5 months after. I don't think that's how we should do it. I think we should ease you into it. Start small. But you don't have to start with other people, but like I don't think you guys should go all the way immediately. Like, I think for your safety, girl, like when your doctor gives you the pass, I don't think this is what he was imagining. Anyways, end of chapter 4 is all him being like, I'm ready for you to be my forever, and she's all like panicking, because of her issues. Also, her dad also abandoned her mom, so she has daddy issues. That's another thing. The sexy talk was also cringe, which can be an issue in a lot of books, right? But in a book that every line is cringy, and then the sexy talk lines are cringy, but in a complete opposite way. Like, his sexy lines were like, he was trying to be a mafia boss or something. Like, that's what I'm expecting in like a mob romance to be said. And I'm just sitting there like, bitch, why? You're not the character's name I totally remember. Listen, the only reason I remember her name's Evie is because the epilogue and him saying something about Christmas Eve, okay? Okay. Luke. It's Luke Ward. I remember this. Big brain. Anyways, big softy Luke. I was like, oh yeah, end of chapter 4 is her being like, oh shit, sex is too good. And he actually is a good guy who wants to be in a relationship. Time to panic. Me too, girl. And so he's all like, okay, I'm gonna give you space so you can figure out what you want. And if you want this, and I'll be waiting for you. Because there's no way I could be with anyone else after this. Right? And then, so chapter 5, the last chapter is mostly just him waiting. I think it's 5 chapters, maybe 6 chapters, and just move everything up one. But it's just him waiting for her to show up, and then she shows up, and then they're happy together, and then there's an epilogue where 7 years later, and they have a 3-year-old daughter. And they're happy. And they sneak off to the barn to have sex. I don't know. It was bad. It was laughably bad, and then it was tiringly boring. 2 stars. I get the average rating. What the hell did I just read? I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed, and then I'm gonna read Caught Up. I should tell you about Caught Up, which is second book in a dark romance series, sequel to Lights Out. Which of the dark romance blog I did, other than Twisted Love, I think Lights Out was my favorite. Like, it's Twisted Love and then Lights Out. Which is wild because I wasn't the biggest fan of it a lot of the time. Hear me out. I wasn't gonna get to the series. It's not even on my series list. I'm gonna have to add it. Just the market is finished. Which I love for me personally. But here's the thing. It came out, and then there was a barrage of 1-star reviews because how dare you put a non-binary character in your book. I love how Goodreads rolled out that update where you can't, like, if an author is behaving badly, you can't review bomb their books, which is like, yeah, sure, but like also you can't remove them from your TBR. Like, that's also an issue, which I also find like, okay, yeah, make it so you can't review bomb, but people should still be able to remove books from their TBR, right? Like, hello. So you can't do that if an author is behaving badly. But if there's a surprise, queer, barely even their side character, from what I've heard, who people can bombard you with 1-star reviews. Um, you know, it was at a point where I was just reading reviews, and then every time I saw one that was 1 star, DNF couldn't finish, having a character with they them pronouns is too confusing, I would report it. That's what I did for like an afternoon. It was very fun, honestly. So I want to read it because of that. Just to rate it 3 stars, probably, and pisses people off. But also, I heard this one is more political than the first one. I think the main female character is a sex worker of some kind. I think Camgirl, but don't quote me on that. I have never read the synopsis. This is what I'm getting from all those reviews I read. Right. So yeah, I don't mind that. Right. And then and as long as, right, like, within reason. And I know he is the cousin of the female character from Lights Out, and he's a part of the mob, right? Like, his father runs the mob. So it is a mob romance, which isn't normally my thing. But, it's like a thing between them. And I don't remember. I remember there being other things in the reviews I read that hinted at it being more what I wanted, like to be like. Which means I think, well, everyone is complaining about this book and how it's not what they wanted out of a sequel. Which, like, in this political climate, what do you expect when it comes to politics, right? But in books, like, she is. Where do you expect your mindset to be? But also, you can tell because despite the fact that the waitlist at my library is quote unquote several months, I got it after like 3 weeks because people kept on skipping. There's like 1,000 people waiting, but they ahead of me, but they kept on skipping their place. That's how you know. That's how you know the talk is bad. So I think while it annoys all her average readers, I think it's written specifically for me, and so also I think it's shorter than Lights Out. So I'm just gonna sit there and read it tomorrow. Maybe while I play Crime Scene Cleaner. Maybe while I play another video game. I don't know. Maybe I'll play Farming Simulator. Like, who knows what I'll do while I listen to it. But I'll listen to it, and I am probably gonna have a good time. Possibly. I'll at least have a mediocrely okay time. Which sounds like a fun time to me, honestly. Sometimes you just need a dumb romance, if you couldn't tell from the book I just finished. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed now, because it's probably closer to 2:30. That is totally accurate. I don't know how to shut up. Even at 2:21. There we go. A.M. Goodbye. Until I was gonna say tomorrow. Until 5, and more like 9 hours from now, because that's when I would update you. But beside the point.
Oh hi. I don't have a timer to show you because it already went off. It went off. It went off because I wasn't paying attention to how much time was left because I was too ingrained in book, and then I had like less than an hour in Rose time left in book. So I was like 55 minutes or something. So I was like, I'll just finish it and then I'll update. So here we are. Editing me is gonna have fun going back to get all those clips of me freaking out as I read the book. My favorite was when I was crazy, or no, when it was, because like in the beginning, I do love this about these books. The narrators will tell you the content warnings, and one of them was cannibalism. And I went, I'm sorry. What? So I was freaking out about that. Also when literally like first few sentences it was just a Gotham reference, I was dying. So you've already seen those, but that was a fun time. The moral of the story is that I'm agreeing that this one was made for me. This one had to be made for me. That's the only way to explain this. I didn't mention that I got under 4 hours of sleep last night. We're not talking about it. I had 2 giant coffees. I just finished the second one, and I'm slightly sleepy. We're ignoring that. Also, I find it very fitting that I did play Crime Scene Cleaner. I only have 1 cassette to find, and I will cheat. I will look it up. Right. I think I may have figured it out actually, but yeah, no, I'm just redoing the last map right now to get the last cassette, and then I'll go back and do most of them again in nightmare mode to get the records. But that's beside the point. That's not about Caught Up. All right, so like I was wrong about Walter's the dog. I can't remember their name. The non-binary best friend. Like they are Lauren's oldest friend, but also one of the 2 roommates, the other one being another cam girl, right? And they were editing videos for spicy content people. Right to the point where like making it an actual business, having to hire another employee to help them edit, right? But they're also like Lauren's oldest friend. There's also a thing where Junior, aka Nick, and Lauren had a thing in high school where she always had a thing for him, and then suddenly like they started get a little fingers went places in school. I've heard of people at my high school doing that too, and I'm just like, why anyways, that was a thing. And then her best friend at the time, I put best friend in quotes, learned of their relationship just reading like her diary entries about it, and was jealous because she was also into Nick, and so told everybody that Lauren was crazy and made up all this stuff because she's a fanfic writer, and so that means she's crazy. Lauren is a bisexual fanfic writer. I feel too seen, okay? I too occasionally fantasized about men in my life. You know, don't we all? Which led to me writing fanfic in general, not about actual people. You know, and then everybody just assumed that was true, and she was horrendously bullied to the point where like she was schooling at home. Grandma, cool ass lady. We love her grandma. Great grandma. And then she had to transfer schools, and the first person she befriended there was the characters whose name I can't remember, the non-binary one. I'm bad at names. Don't blame me. The only reason I remember her name's Lauren is because literally it was just said in the epilogue. Like it was her POV for the epilogue, and that's the only reason why. But yes, so that's their history. And the reason why he didn't tell anybody it was true is because her father learned about their relationship, beat the living daylights out of him, like a 16, 17-year-old boy, if that. That's not illegal or anything. Did I mention they are both part of the families are both part of the Italian mob? That's like a thing. And so did that, and then his father also threatened to kill her if he continued to be in a relationship with a 16-year-old girl. Yeah, and so he thought it'd be better for both her safety because of his dad, and also in general, if he just didn't say anything and just moved on. But he's like been watching her from afar, and he was the first cam girl subscriber she had, and all this stuff, and it's a lot of him making it up to her and her learning all the ways that he's helped her from afar but not done anything about it until her father is out of the picture, and he already has a plan to separate himself from his father and the mob, which I like, because I'm not a mob romance person. Have I mentioned that? I'm not into that, but he is planning to get out. Like, he doesn't like here. Also, his dad is abusive. I was having a great time when his dad, I think it was like the first time his dad officially had been physically abusive and like was choking him out in front of everybody at family dinner, and she literally goes and tasers him. Iconic. I love her. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's a lot of the relationship, is like him making it up to her and her I don't want to say getting over, but it's growing a relationship with him despite the trauma of all that, and also the fact that she works in sex work and how some men don't like that and like to control that aspect of her, and all this stuff. Also, I would like to note, the politics stuff is literally just about how, like, it's barely anything in this. It's maybe like 3 sentences about how she works with different politicians for outreach stuff to try to make better laws for sex work, including but not limited to if you get assaulted as a sex worker and you try to report it, you don't immediately get arrested for sex work. Yeah, that makes sense in my brain. I don't know. Yeah. So, like, that's a recent thing that she had passed, right? So there's that. The sex club type stuff wasn't my favorite, but that's never really my favorite, even when in like Katie Roberts' books. So like, that was fine. My favorite part, when she has like a pride flag tattoo, and so he assumes she's, but he notices her like watching some woman being into a woman, and his immediate thought, he's literally in his head watching her be attracted to other women, and he's all like, I feel like I should be jealous, but in actuality I'm just sitting here feeling so proud that I'm the one that she wants to spend her time with, and I, a bisexual woman who has had men in the past be like, oh, you're gonna cheat with me, and also thinking that only means threesomes. Oh god, men worse, and all this stuff. And so I read that and I went hi, you know, anyways, the moral of the story is this one was weird for me. I had a great time. I had like an exceptionally great time. It was so much fun. 4 stars. I loved it. I don't know why I rated the Lights Out 3.5. I checked that this morning. I don't know why, but it is. Also, the other thing I wanted to bring up is that I just checked on my library card, and the wait list for the audiobook is 397 days. It's over a year, and I already have it. That's how many people have like I was like 200th or something. 200 days or something like that. And it, like, that many people skipped their place for me to get it. Anyways, I'm happy that I'm one of the people giving it a higher rating to say fuck you all to the 1-star reviews for homophobia. Fuck those bitches. Anyways, it was good to me. reading specifically for me. It was just also, you know, just a good time, just a good fun time. Anyways, read 4 books in this. Let me see if, without looking at sticky note, we'll flip it over. We'll flip it over. They were the Apollo book, which I gave 3.5 because it was kind of boring somehow. Right? Dark Prophecy, that's what it's called. And then Home, the second book in the Binti series, kind of similar problem where I was a little bit bored but also like so confused on what was happening. 3 stars. And then Mary Ever After, maybe, the second book in the Mistletoe series by a bunch of different authors, by Tessa Bailey. Yeah, that was hilariously bad until it was just boring. 2 stars. And then I slept for 4 hours and then we got caught up, which is 4 stars, which I think means it wins the vlog. That's a scary thought. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Oh my god, I got that right. The way I just wrote The Trials of Apollo, I didn't even write the name of the actual book because I never can remember. I can cross off caught up. Also, the epilogue, like, set up a thing with Tyler, Josh's old roommate, and a romance with him for the next book. Like, there's gonna be a next book, but it's still labeled as only a duology everywhere, so I don't know what's happening there. But I'm intrigued. I was having a good time with this one, so I am intrigued enough. And now I gotta find something to read now. I should just go read Game of Thrones, but if I read something smutty or some romance again, it was good. I just want a good romance. That was a good romance, and I just want more good romance, you know? I always buy. Outro stuff. Hello, welcome to this. We have Wednesdays and Fridays are videos, and Mondays are shorts or reels, also on Instagram. Wednesdays are gaming videos from streams, Crime Scene Cleaner, for the rest of this month, really. That's all it's gonna be for the rest of this month on Wednesdays. And then Saturdays, for a second there I was like, wait, is it Fridays? No, it's Saturdays. Are booktube stuff, so either vlogs like this, hello, hi, or read with me's, if I need time, right, like the week that this is being recorded. Up above in the cards is the playlist of 24-hour vlogs if you want to watch more of these. Some of them are more chaotic than this one. A lot of them are, actually. And also other places you can find me, link below, including my Twitch, which you did get some clips of. I know that. I did mark them in the stream. I'm still live now. I did mark them in the stream as they were happening. As my freak out ended, I marked them so I could go back and clip them. So, hang out there. Sometimes I play video games, like Crime Scene Cleaner, and sometimes I do reads, like, we all, like, do work together, and I'm usually reading during those, and what else? I think that's everything. Do all the things if you want to do them, likes and comments and blah 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 blah. That is everything. Until the next time. P.S. Stay tuned for another one of these soonish.